it taken care of. So you could do that and still have the game. Maybe you could put the game on a Monday night. So then you got a triple header, instead of a double header that we got coming up. You give them an extra day. But then they were talking about having it at a neutral site. Now I'm like, all right, great. Beautiful. And Sluggo just said they could have pushed it to Thursday or Friday. Yeah, he's absolutely right. We got a game tomorrow. So they maybe could play Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, so those are other options. So great point by Sluggo. So, neutral site. They're saying Philadelphia and Pittsburgh were two stadiums that they were thinking about having neutral site. Now, if you remember before, where Buffalo, Fruquan Shabazz should know about this, is that Buffalo and the New York Jets had a game, and the snow. I mean, it's one thing to have a lot of snow in Buffalo, but when folks in Buffalo is not leaving the house, it's a serious problem. So they moved the game to Detroit, and they played in Ford Field. Okay, I get that. That's not too far away. Why would you move Miami and Tampa Bay from Florida to Pittsburgh or Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? I don't get that. When, as far as like flying, right up the street, you have a brand new spanking stadium that the Falcons just opened, and the Falcons are on the road. You can move that game. To me, maybe something's going on Sunday that I don't know about. But again, you could probably move stuff around, just like Sluggo said, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or something like that, and move them in there. You got a brand spanking new stadium, which just happened to be the neighboring state. So you still would get Florida fans, Tampa Bay, Buccaneer fans, or Miami fans that will probably go to the game. They either live close to Georgia, or they live in Georgia, or maybe they live in surrounding parts like South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, one of those places. You just never know. But I just don't get why they postponed it. You're going to ask these players to play 16 straight weeks. 16 straight weeks. I'm going to have to go back on my 11-5 prediction for Mocha Bella's team, Miami, on this, because this was all unforeseen. I can't book 11-5 no more. I got to drop them down. I'm going to drop them to 9-7 because I really think this is going to play a big part and be an impact on their season by playing 16 straight weeks. That I know you're thinking like it's 1 week, but what's 1 week? 1 week is a lot to a football team. And then the last thing that I want to go on, if you're anything like me, which I'm sure the players and the families and all this stuff are, and the coach's family and all this, is that you plan out ahead to do things. If I already knew I was off week 11, I done already put down my down payment on whatever. We hitting the beach, we going somewhere, we eating steak, we eating lobster. Nah, baby, we ain't doing that no more. I gotta work. I gotta go to work. So, I probably won't get my money back on that unless I put the insurance. Don't plan no cruise, because maybe you can roll it over or something like that. But I'm just saying, you already made plans, and now they want to lock you into a game. And in Miami, they don't even get a home game, I think, until October 8th, because they still got to go to London. So 16 weeks, and you got to travel out of the country to go play football. I'm just saying. Sluggo said, laugh out loud, you already booked it. Yeah, I booked 11-5, but that was not before finding out Mother Nature ain't playing no games, Sluggo. So I think I got a loophole there. I think I could reverse my prediction. I'm gonna have to drop it down and go 9-7, 9-7, 9-7, not 11-5. A little light. 9-7. So I can't book it anymore. So the NFL changed it, so I had to change it. So that's all that is, But more importantly, everyone, if you got someone down there, and if you are in Florida, listen to this. We are praying for you, and we are hoping that this thing passes and does not touch any part of Florida. It just stays out into the ocean where it should be, so it doesn't impact anything because we already got the stuff that's going on in Houston, and we don't need something like that again going on anywhere on this great land that we live in. So moving on, we're going to actually touch what I originally was going to get into so I could go ahead and get that out the way. But, that Tampa Bay thing, touched me, and I had to go ahead and get in on it. So Kyrie Irving, Isaiah Thomas trade has finally become finalized. Thank you. We drew this out. I said that they would need to get this done. There's no going back. So kids, get in here and give it up for the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics for getting this thing done. Yes, this thing needed to be done because, again, like I said, training camp is 3 weeks, probably less than 3 weeks, and this thing is about to blow up, because the first game, October 17th, is the beginning of the season. And who do we have? Boston versus Cleveland. Yes, we're going to start this thing early. But so this Kyrie Irving, Isaiah Thomas trade is done. Just to recap, they got the Cavaliers did. They got Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, and a Zeke. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. And a first and a second round pick for Kyrie Irving that went to the Boston Celtics. So now that this is all done, now there's rumors about the first round pick because this is a Brooklyn pick that it may be up for grabs. What will Cleveland do with it? Now Cleveland has a little option. They have some things that they could do, with this first round pick. They could hold on to it. If LeBron leaves, chances are it's going to be a high pick so they can get themselves a quality player, basically like they got Kyrie Irving. Or if LeBron stayed, maybe they can use it as a bargaining chip. Say, hey, we offer some for another player, and LeBron stays an extra year or two. Could be possible. This number one pick probably will be more important than people think, and it will play a big part in the Cavs' future. Dan Gilbert, I think was it Dan Gilbert? I think Dan Gilbert he's thinking about selling the team too. So you got to take that into context as far as if he sells the team, would LeBron stay? He doesn't have to still deal with Dan Gilbert anymore. That's a possibility. You never know. But the deal is done. We're glad the deal is done. Now we're going to talk about, can Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford, they don't have, Avery Bradley or Isaiah Thomas anymore. You would think that Boston probably has upgraded a little bit. Jaylen Brown, they're going to be looking for a lot out of Jaylen Brown this year. And this guy, Tatum, out of Duke, the rookie. So they're going to be asking a lot from him. So I'm just saying, it's going to be real interesting. The East will be interesting. It won't be as dry as it was last year. Now, some of the other teams, like the Atlanta Hawks, unfortunately, but won't be relevant. And some people say they weren't relevant anyway. But, teams like that we won't be talking about. We'll be talking about the Bucks, the Heat, and possibly the 76ers. So we got a lot of stuff going on in the NBA that we'll be keeping track of. And as we get into training camp, we'll be talking more and more about it. But my next subject that really just stuck out to me, and this more will go to the chat room. I want the chat room's opinion on this so I can get some dialogue here. So I'm hoping everyone participates here along with me. But this whole LaMelo Ball situation. Now, if you haven't heard it, we're not talking about, we're talking about LeVar a little bit, but we're not talking about Lonzo. We'll get into that some other day. But LaMelo, the younger brother, he's the middle-aged brother, if I remember. Or actually, he might be the youngest, if I remember. But LaMelo, basically, he has a shoe deal. And we all know he has a shoe deal because his father is the CEO of Big Baller Brands. So the brother came out with his own shoe. Now, he's making money off this shoe if people are buying it, which some people will buy it, and he's going to make a little change off of it. Now, because this is a profit that he's making, and it's a business that he's making money off of, they're saying that his eligibility to play in the NCAA may be in jeopardy. He may not be able to play college ball because he's making money at the end of the day. However way you technically you want to, state it, but he's making money off his shoes. They're got a concern. They're like, hey, this guy may not be able to play. And the reason I bring this up is because his father is the CEO. This is different than some kid just coming to a school and then maybe a booster or someone else, trying to, drop money to him or trying to get him to do, one thing versus another or anything like that. This guy has a legitimate business. His father is the CEO. So how will this play out? How is this going to, affect his being recruited? Vince Wright said the NCAA strikes again. And I'm going to get into that, Vince. What you're saying, about this is leading into what I'm going to get into as well. So to me, the biggest thing is that they're making him pick between being an entrepreneur or basketball, which again, his father owns the company. His father, makes the shoe, names the shoe after him. Yeah, he's going to break them off, But I guess here's the thing. Unless the school has, a deal, which I seriously doubt UCLA will have a deal with Big Baller Brand where, they're wearing their shoes or anything like, well, I won't say never. I shouldn't say that because it could possibly be. But to me, the kid may not be wearing the shoes on the court. Off the court, yes, he's going to be wearing his own shoes. But what's the difference if his father, owned a car dealerships or apparel, which he does, but, and he's still making money off his name, his popularity. He just happened to play basketball. It's a unique situation, I think. I think, but I could be wrong. Cedric Galloway said he should be able to just pay for his school and not accept a scholarship. That might be an option as well. Definitely, he's not on scholarship. They're making enough money. Lonzo is making enough money to put him through school. Said UCLA is Adidas sponsored school. So there you have it. More than likely, Big Baller Brand ain't going to be part, UCLA, which I didn't think, but I just never say never. You never know. But LeVar, the one thing that kind of struck me the wrong way is that LeVar is saying, well, if they won't let him play basketball, his answer to LaMelo not playing basketball is, we'll just sit out. We'll sit out a year and we'll go to the NBA. And I'm like, I don't know if, people listening to this show know I'm not 100% LeVar Ball supporter, but I have supported him on a lot of stuff as far as him trying to get his brand together and all this other stuff that he wanted to do, and get the spotlight on himself. And he's been doing a good job about that and marketing himself. So I have been a supporter on that. I don't know if I can be a supporter, on something like this. And the reason I say that is that you're talking about taking away an experience or an opportunity from your kid if you're thinking, and Seth made a good point, as far as him just paying for his way to go to school, because you'll have the funds to, to do that. But just saying, you know what, don't play college ball, because not only is it just college ball, but it's the college experience. We all talk about that. Anyone who's went to college talks about the college experience. And he has an opportunity to have an experience that most of us will have never, and people in the future will never get to experience. So I don't know if you just take that lightly and just say, you know what, we just gonna not play, because LeVar got to play. We all know he played at Washington State. So he was on the team at Washington State. So you got to experience being on a team, traveling on, on the road, Division I, all that, but your son is a highly ranked player, and the people are going to want to see him play. So